Time now for Extra Points, where we grill sports director Frank Cusumano on the hot sports topics of the day. And let's begin with Mizzou basketball, because they had a terrible performance against Illinois in the bragging rights game. But then all of a sudden they seem to turn it around. Explain that.
Yeah, it is absolutely shocking. And I thought Dennis Gates had a great quote. He said, "I'd like to apologize to my players for being the biggest blank hole known to man for a week, because he just destroyed them and killed them after that game." Now, he said something after the bragging rights game, which many people really don't think about. He just said, "I'd like to see what we're like with our full roster." So they had their full roster for the first time against the defending national champion Florida Gators on Saturday night, where they got Jaden Stone, who averaged 20 points a game one season. He's 25 years old. He scores the first 8 points of the game. And they look like a completely different team. So all of this doom and gloom that we thought, well, the season's over, they look so bad, they lost by 9.
But it's so Jekyll and Hyde. What are we to make of it? Is this an NCAA tournament team?
Well, all they have to do is finish in like the top 9, I think, in the SEC. They get 8 to 9 teams in there every year, and they can do it. I would have said no chance after the bragging rights game, which I left 10 minutes early. But now you're thinking, wait a minute, what are we seeing here? When they got their full roster, they're okay.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about SLU basketball, because they've got a big game coming up.
Yeah, they're more than okay. They're 13-1, and they're 0-10, though, at VCU. This is going to be the biggest test. If they win this game on Wednesday night, I think they will be ranked in the top 25. Mike, I went to the game on New Year's Eve, and I've never seen a collection of shooters. They shot like 66% from three-point range.
But don't they have, what, a 10-game losing streak at VCU?
Yeah, they've struggled there, but they've never gone there with this roster. And if he gets them to buy in on the defensive end, because they're all great offensive players, I just don't see how they can not go to the tournament.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Blues, because, again, we know they got off to this terrible start, but last I checked, they were only 1 point out of the final playoff spot.
Yeah, it was back-to-back. It was 2 wins in a span of like 27 or 28 hours. And the biggest takeaway is Jordan Binnington, just unbelievable against the Canadians. And, you know, in Canada, they're not real happy. They've been ripping Jordan about he's the Olympic goalie. So he went out and showed the Canadians, I can still play. And as we all know, it's just a bad idea to bet against Jordan Binnington. He turned back all 25 shots. I don't know. I'm not going to say he's turned the corner, but we've seen him great.
So, again, is this a playoff team? Are we talking about the Blues? We've seen them play very badly this season, and then we've seen these, like, moments of hope. Is this a playoff team? You're hesitant.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far, because there's so many teams all bunched up for that final playoff spot. But we know Jim Montgomery can peak a team down the stretch. We'll see what happens.
All right, Frank Cusumano with Extra Points.